How could I ever love someone else?
You did.
Jahaziel Tremblay Gonzalez. All right, and the title of tonight's show is Planet Risk in the Tarot. All right, so the link is there. I'm texting him now. Okay. Now, I want to read something here before we get started. And this is from the 33 Commandments. All right. Slate 11. Anuki Yaki Anuki. I am who I am. Wahoo. You do not tamper or play with Ouija boards. Athu. You do not tamper or play with spirit boards. Salu. You do not tamper or touch the book boxes. Rabu. You do not play with tarot cards. You do not play with tarot cards. You do not play with tarot cards.
All right, shoot me the call in the peace and war times. Before we jump into the video, I just wanted to be extra clear that, you know, when people are cult members, you know, they just, because of the negative spiritual influence, it always goes back to them being misguided in a lot of ways. And I wanted to expand on that. Now, if you look over here at the chat, let's look at some of the comments. Now, watch this. This showing you how they just don't know what's going on. Look at this. All right, some Ansar said that's R19 Bodhi's son. He was raised on the land. All right, Sun Ra give it fire. Ansar comment says, tomorrow show the deck you work with and the scroll that the master science teacher expanded it. All right, Sunrise says, Kim in Woo Newbie vibes. Theodore Cook said, since when did York read tarot cards? Runes? Yes, tarot, question mark. I don't ever remember him using tarot. Lamar Watson said, I remember you mentioned the and Thummim book, and before we made those stones, if you read the book, Baba Yanun said not to use tarot cards or Ouija boards. Good reference, bro. KL Hall said, tarot card, this is what, brother? Theodore Cook said, I don't remember Doc saying anything about tarot and and Thummim. Lamar Watson said, in the book of and Thummim by Dr. Malachi York. KL Hall said, Pop warned us, I guess he meant to say about Miss Cleo back in the day. Lamar Watson said, me stones has nothing to do with tarot cards. He definitely said, don't use Ouija boards. Lamar Watson said he's using tarot cards right now. What? Lamar said, why tell us? HGF977 said, what does he have to say about Pop saying we do not play with tarot cards in the 33 commandment books? Lamar Watson said, Amun just read from the 33 commandments. Let's go further down. Lamar says somebody's feeding him false information in Baba's name. Lamar said those cards have nothing to do with the Sabian letters on that outfit. Sunrise says Lamar, stop hating. HGF977 said, at Lamar Watson, you right, I have not seen anywhere in the doctrine or tapes that speaks about using tarot cards except not to use them. Lamar Watson, people are wearing the garbs, wearing the symbols and still in 1998. Lamar said this has nothing to do with Sabianism today. Theodore said, right, this is like Paul's doctrine, a big change after the masters left. Theodore Cook said, where in Doc's book does he say specifically to use tarot? Baba said that we don't use tarot cards, said Satak Kwabena Nakti. Satak said, page 21 in the 33 commandments of the Sabian 4, you do not play with tarot cards. So right here, one of the Sabians quote the book that says you don't supposed to play with tarot cards. All right, so let's keep going. and Thurman used cuneiform letters. This brother said he learned from Bobby Hemmett. Bobby Hemmett was telling black people to call on Baphomet and Hindu spirits. That's true. Bobby Hemmett did say that the Baphomet wasn't a bad sign, and everybody knows that's not true. A Satan worshiper will tell you that the Baphomet is negative. And you can look at the image. I mean, you can't look at that and pretend. All right. Let me see. Somebody said he is teaching from Abrahamic religions. Let me see. Lamar said, man, put that stuff down. Other people are saying, you know, he's still being sincere. So Toxic, this guy's teaching religion. Tarot is not religion. That's how y'all know. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Lamar said, we on the Hereafter doctrine, no longer mono. We are starting to get stationed to go home. We don't need that anymore. Palm Musbatu, which is Nawapian Assassin, said this information is not for you advanced students. Theodore Cook, this is his doctrine, not the master teacher's doctrine. Somebody said, I don't want nothing to do with this reading. Baba told us not to watch Ouija, and I'm damn not about to watch this. Much love, family. Zoza said it's not real, it's a painted version, like you just said. Real what? Spoke to you, okay, I'm real, bye. Zoza said now the cards are talking. Phase 1 is not an authority on anything. Him, okay, and something means nothing. JW said, what about partner by Yanun said we don't deal with tarot cards, Anuma? Are you not one of us advanced Sabians? Do you not adhere to our warner? He has warned us not to mess with these seriously. So phase 1 is the authority who authorized what's authentic. I think this brother is just meaning phase 1 gave him important information about the cards. Somebody said, this is sad, wrong knowledge. HG said, I'm at fault myself. This is a product of us, not our own on the streets, the people that have some real knowledge not speaking out and up. Shaking my head, young, sincere brothers like this end up falling into tarot. If you simply stick to the doctrine, you'll be transformed, hold on to the rope. Y'all said false teachers who don't know how to teach and fake leaders who don't know how to lead. JW telling Amun Numa, no, guide that brother back to Patarak. That is not our way. We were warned not to indulge in that mess. Come on now, seriously. Paul Musbatu said, in order for you to correct wrong information, you must listen. Baba Yanun didn't explain the tarot cards yet. So my question is this, if I speak our Lahaj, I am family, I am one who is strictly called I need family. Okay, keep going. So I will master my Sabian language so I can be truly accepted among us without rejection. So basically, they are using their own information, right? They quoted a book, the 33 Commandments, and said don't mess with tarot. But you can see because the Sabians or the Wabians, who are, which like all cults, if they run long enough, and then the leader is removed, they break up into cults and subgroups, and then the younger generation comes in after the fake leaders who couldn't wait for the leader to be removed, like Duswa, and Sakina and all these other people that you've seen, Dr. Moo and all these other folks that's trying to fill up a hole. After they fall off, then the younger ones come in and they just trying to find their way. And then they get attacked and thrown under the bus and all this other stuff. But this is what happened. Same thing with Nature Boy. This is what they're going through right now. It's always a fight for somebody, to take over from the misleader. So they started talking about the and the Thummim, right? So when you go into the and the Thummim, or Thummim, you can go to NoopooHism.com, and Chuck did this September 2013. All right, it's been read 6,606 times. Interesting. All right, so Ask the Weapons is Rab Blum, one of the masters that guide the pen of Malachi York. Most of them won't know what you're talking about. So if you go down here, this is the and the book of and Thummim. I remember when this book came out and I had it. I even wrote a book back in about 2000, late 2000, sometime in 2007, 2008. And I had came up with my own thing, but this right here, the Book of Runes by Ralph Bloom, 1982, York doesn't release the Book of until Thummim until 1993. So this book was already released almost 10 years before York. And so here it's saying his and Thummim publication, York replaced Blum's 21st Germanic Futkart glyphs and its interpretations with his own 24 Nawabic glyphs. York's 24 Nawabic glyphs were derived from Arabic, which over time developed into a Kong Lang known today as NoopooH. All right. So here you can see the Viking runes, and then York got the Nawabic runes. So this is what we talking about, plagiarism. York didn't even take the time to paraphrase Blum's commentaries on each runic glyph. Instead, York copied Blum's interpretation word for word. York also had the nerve to use Blum's mystical experiences as his own. Once again, a faker. And y'all keep giving this failed leader credit for other people's work. So this is what Bloom put in his book, The Viking Rune. When I began to work with the runes, I had never seen a runic text. So I did not realize that I was breaking away from the tradition sequence of Frey, Hagal, and Tyr, probably used to be the early practitioners of runimel, but function determines form, use confers meaning, and oracle always resonates to the requirements of the time in which it is consulted. I had to rely on the runes themselves to establish their own order and to instruct me in their meanings. York, the merge of the stone. When I began to work with the stones, I had never seen a runic text, so I did not realize that I was receiving the original stones. So y'all gotta understand, when York told these fantastic lies, and the him or the being within him was from another galaxy, and you had access to 76 trillion years. 76 trillion years of information. How would a being not have this information? Why would a person who has 76 trillion years of information say, I have never seen a runic text? That's what I'm saying. See, if he really was about doing it right, he would have took some of this stuff out. Because how was somebody who was here, and when he said I was there, which was here when the earth was made and all this, the Vikings don't go back that far. They within a 6,000 year time frame. So how that makes no sense. But you can see he copied it word for word. So I did not realize that I was receiving the original stones, that there existed a sequence of Frey, Hagal, and Tyr all the way down. So this is just pure word for word. That's all we've been saying. Nobody is lying on him. He just was pulling pulling scams. See, look. It's just a copying. Remember these words of wisdom. This is the book of the, see? The truth is that life is hard and, what did it say? Life is hard. I'm trying to make this bigger. And dangerous, okay. But he got the same picture. See, this right here in York, book Doorway 3. Got the same thing over here. It's just copying, man, copying. It's no way, you know, y'all can get away from this stuff. Go to Noopenism.com and type in you could type in Ask the Weapons is Ralph Blum, or just type in Ralph Blum in the search bar up here, and then it'll come up. All right, so that's just to show you, you know, once again that, you know, these cult members done lost their mind and they ain't got nothing else to do. They just, you know, it's just a hot mess. Treat me the calm peace and war time.
Now let me ask you a question. Can you find Tahuti in the card? Tahuti or Amun Ray?
Right here. Look, and you'll see it in the name. It says La Hermit. This is Hermes right here. And it's pointing, you know, it's leading you to series, to start series.
You meant to call the Peace and Noon Times. All right, we just listened to Mr. Gonzalez talk about the Hermit card meant Hermes. And this is what I was speaking about before on the last video. And, you know, the people who don't take the time in to study certain things and also possessed by negative spirit forces cause them to jump around and say things that a basic novice, a regular person, can just go and look. Okay, I've been studying tarot since 2021 and I have the videos to prove it. And I've also had help with Inspiration Revelation. So the stuff that this guy is saying is completely wrong. And again, all you got to do is type in what does the Hermit card represent. It doesn't represent Hermes. All right, and it doesn't represent the Orion Star constellation. Okay, when you get into tarot, it deals with a lot more things, especially things like the natal charts. And also these cards also have planets that represent them as well as constellations. Okay, and so when you do this type of understanding and studying equal standing, you start to figure that. So look, this would just say, what does the Hermit Tarot card mean? Description, I'll write reverse Hermit Tarot cards and more. All right, so we're just gonna go down here. We're not gonna go through all the other stuff. All right. Now, so are there other things that the Hermit Tarot cards symbolize? Definitely. A previous article presented the Hermit as the tarot card for the zodiac sign Virgo. All right. And Virgo is an earth sign. All right. Hermes, Trismegistus, Thoth, Tahuti, whatever name you want to use, is a moon god. And the moon represents Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So that kills all of that. All right. So let's see. Where is how far is the Virgo constellation from the Orion constellation? It said, although Orion is one of the most well-known and easily identified constellations, it is not one of the 12 astrological signs defined by astronomy and constellations. All right, so you could just look that up. So constellation-wise, he's off. He definitely doesn't know the zodiac sign because all the tarots have the zodiac sign and a planet to go with it. So the Virgo is an earth sign. That means the planet that goes with Virgo is what? Earth. Same thing with Saturn or Saturn. And what you got? And Taurus, earth sign. So the planet Earth is the zodiac, is the planet for those signs. All right, so now let's take it up a notch. Now you go to the Nature of Nature, book 3, right? Afro had already broken down what's called the Nodiac and the Zodiac. All right, so the Zodiac would be Aries, the Pisces, and all of the constellations, the ones we're talking about, the 12, even though it's about 88 in all, but that's another conversation. The Zodiac deals with the creation of humans and animals. The Nodiac is the opposite when it's the pygmy gods in unity with the spirit gods. Zodiac is unity of humans and animals. So what you have here is the opposite side of the same stars. It's not that it's 24 constellations per se. These particular constellations are the same stars, but they emanate in the bottom half. From 6 west to 6 east is 6 ether, 5, 4, and 3. And then once you get down here to 3 south where we at, then the ethers go back up. 4, 5, 6 ether, and then it goes into 7 ether, 8 ether, 9 ether. So the point is this: the opposite of Virgo, when it's in the Nodiac, is the brain. Okay, so the brain is in the top half, where it's 9 north. Now, when you go to the Nature Introduction, book 1, we talk about the brain. The brain is in the head. So look, listen to reason. The letter N in the word nature does stand for nothingness, vacuum, non-negative, nous, no, north, newts, noon, nurture, nobility, and nourishment. It is true that nothingness is infinite vacuum, and it may be called space. The positive is 9 in space, 9 in matter, and 9 in time. For 9 and 6, the negative are opposites who also represent all other opposites in nature. While we are on 9, let's look at the letter by letter meaning of the word 9, which is noble, intelligent, nurturing Ethiopians. Note that the acronym, the first letters of the words of this phrase, noble, intelligent, nurturing Ethiopians, spells 9. The noble, intelligent, nurturing Ethiopians by race is Noopoo, Noose, and of course Noopoo is Noel, see? The head pioneer. And when you break down the SMAT circle in order, this is 6 east, 6 west to 6 east is the waistline. And right here is the belly button. All of this is the top part of the SMAT circle, or the one supreme being is a SMAT circle, which is the upper part. And the brain is right here. That's why the brain is right here. You got the heart, the lungs, the flesh, and genitals. Of course, you will have the body parts down here when Noopoo is ruling. All right, more on that stuff later. So, Noel is another way to say head. All right, and then when Zupu is in, the brain turns into the Virgo. All right, so that's a whole nother level. But that's just to explain to you that he doesn't know what he's talking about. And in phase 1 or whoever is giving him this type of information is incorrect. Okay, one thing about tarot is not a mystery. You can make your own, meaning you can go get some regular cards, blank cards, or order them off of Etsy, or take some cue cards and write down, say you take like 60 cards blank, and you can make a relationship card, write anything on it dealing with relationship, the good, the bad, the ugly, right? And you can shuffle them and ask questions that is coming from you. So if you're in a situation where everything is good and you pull the cards and one come out, it's going to confirm what you're talking about. It's too many videos out here about tarot and how to understand what they represent. Tarot is not something, just like anything, everything is based on nature. Now, if you want to be spooked out and try to create all this extra stuff, you can. But the information is coming from you. All right? Also to answer Assassin's question about what if somebody else made the cards. It doesn't affect you, because when you get the cards, they tell you either way, whether you read about it or they tell you when you buy cards, you should always sage them, right? Burn incense around them, around the box. Open up the box, sage and incense, the cards, the deck as a whole, and all that. Then you sit with the cards and meditate on them. And you put your energy on them because somebody had to make the cards. They had to be touched by a bunch of people, packaged and shipped and all that stuff. So it doesn't matter if you bought the cards from whoever. You can cleanse the card and put your energy on it. All right, this is the basic introduction to what tarot is. So anybody talking about, York talking about don't touch this, don't touch that. If you playing cards, if you playing spades, 21, jack, blackjack, whatever, you playing any type of cards, Uno, all that stuff is forms of tarot. Whatever name you want to use. I did a video addressing this over a year ago because some ignorant Nawabi and Sabians was trying to tell me what I was doing was witchcraft. That's a lie. True meant to call the peace of noontime.